There is a shared feeling of being harvested by the future. And in this video, we will discover why. I want to share with you an interesting article of the New York Times. And in this essay, the author explored the profound anxiety and the precarity experienced globally as AI and technology accelerate turning human experiences and data into resources for a future-oriented economy. Modern existence feels increasingly like being harvested because our present emotions, behaviors, and data are being used to train AI and fuel a future that benefits corporations rather than individuals. And this is the article. Within an hour, I landed in Shanghai. I was sitting in back of a DD cab while the driver pleaded with me to game the company's algorithm. Didi is a Uber China and has ubiquitous footprint in the country, dispatching tens of millions of rides per day. Could I cancel the ride and pay him directly to WeChat? There was an oversupply of drivers competing for too few fares, he explained. After dropping me off, he would be sent straight back to the airport where he would have to wait for hours for another pickup. The driver's plight reminded me of the DoorDash workers in the United States whose earnings are controlled by optimized dispatch system, or the Amazon Flex worker who compete for scarce delivery blocks, never certain when the next job will come. I have spent years reporting and living in both the United States and China. Moving between the two countries, I've been struck by how they have come to mirror and resemble themselves. There is a shared sense of precarity that lies beneath the envy and distrust. The technological future is taking shape at vertiginous speed, yet its promise is not shared by all. The growth of artificial intelligence has been presented as a rivalry between two fundamentally different systems. America commands capital and chips, while China marshals engineering talent and manufacturing progress. America holds an edge in building software, enterprise tools, and cloud platforms. China leads in hardware, humanoid, and autonomous vehicles. America pushes ahead with frontier models, with its artificial intelligence labs making moonshot bets to build a superintelligence. China focuses on scale and diffusion, with its tech firms embedding AI as quickly as possible in every sector of society. We've been told that the ultimate prize in AI is the achievement of artificial general intelligence, or AGI. The country that figures this out, the theory holds, will establish world dominance to turbocharged economic and military power. The United States and China are almost always battling, competing, and locked in this race. China is years behind, no, months behind. It's pulling ahead, it's winning, it's losing, it's racing toward AGI, not racing toward AGI, or it's racing on a different track. The story of the race blew up last year after the introduction of DeepSeek, a Chinese open source model that reportedly rivaled United States frontier models at a fraction of the cost. A wave of China envy overtook United States tech leaders who marveled at China's speed in building bridges, high-speed trains, and advanced prototype. Mark Anderson warned that the United States must reindustrialize or fall behind the world of Chinese robots. The popular YouTuber Darren Watson, known as iShowSpeed, streamed his trip to Shenzhen, where he danced with humanoids and ordered KFC by drone. Looking past the headline and the highlights reel, you can see the sharp divide in both countries brought on by AI. Those who build and backroll the technology speak of the future as a promise to be profited from, an opportunity to be exploited. In Silicon Valley, college dropouts talk of AI tackling climate change and curing disease. Researchers are courted with nine-figure salaries like NBA stars, and roadside billboard call all residents to supercharge your AI and stop hiring humans. Tech workers have earnestly adopted China's infamous 996 work schedule, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., 6 days per week. They are hustling hard and locking in to ensure that they emerge as the rich and powerful victors of the AI gold rush. China's tech hubs are driven by a similar sense of urgency. In Beijing, Zhongjiangkou, known as China's Silicon Valley, office towers stay lit deep up into the night as AI lab employees hustle to beat their rivals across the road. Company poach one another's star engineers while freelance coders burn to tens of thousands of cloud token to vibe code products. China's most recent win was raising lobsters as a shorthand for training the free open source AI agent OpenClaw. Nearly 1,000 people, from amateur coders to housewives, line up outside the tech giant Tencent headquarters to install the software on their device. Users claim that OpenClaw could kickstart side hustle and double stock returns, parent boat lobster installation services for their grade school children to keep up with their peers. Tech companies race to monetize this anxiety, charging users for cloud servers and software access. This is not embracing the future. One disillusioned user already note described the OpenClaw craze. It's being harvested by the future. Farther south in Shenzhen, China hardware capital, startup boasts of operating at Shenzhen speed and have been embedded AI into everything from coffee makers to construction cranes at a high-tech fair in the city hosted in 20 halls the size of airport hangars. I worked by stalls advertising AI pianos, AI beef noodle makers, AI holographic tour guide, and AI English tutors. I sat down in front of an AI-powered traditional Chinese medicine doctor that scanned my tongue and delivered a diagnosis. A crowd gathered around a boxing ring, cheering on a pair of sparring humanoids made by robotic giant Unity. It's a highly competitive environment right now, a Shenzhen software engineer told me. I feel like if I stop, I'll be left behind. His anxiety is now new. Unstable work situation and economic insecurity long predate the current AI boom. But AI has supercharged those anxiety and made them much harder to contest. A parallel set of memes has emerged to capture the sense of powerlessness. In the United States, the Silicon Valley tech elite identify as high agency, while the rest of us are both condemned to permanent underclass. In China, ordinary workers describe themselves as corporate cattle and overtime dogs. These same workers have long used the viral term involution to capture the feeling of being trapped in a cycle of meaningless competition. In both countries, those disaffected by AI identify with the gaming meme of the non-player character. They feel like the background role in some else video game existing only to fill the world but not to shape it. In 2025, a group of AI researchers from the United States, Canada, and Europe coined the term gradual disempowerment to describe a future in which ever more capable AI could quietly erode human agency. The technology could steer our core institution with little regard for human values. Though framed as a future risk to someone who has been observing the United States and China closely, it already felt like diagnosis of a present day. The knowledge workers of both countries feel the surveillance presence of the technology. AI is now used in decision to fire and hire employee. It tracks attendance at work, predicts an employee growth potential, flags idle hours, and enforces discipline. Outside the office, both Chinese and Americans have become enamored with AI as a source of frictionless companionship and emotional validation, with the companies now monetizing emotional intimacy at scale. Over 70% of American teenagers report using chatbots as a companion, nearly 1 in 8 for mental health support. Similarly, in China, one survey found that nearly half of young Chinese has used AI chatbot to discuss their mental health. In a country where living alone is quickly becoming the norm, with the single-person household expected to possibly reach 200 million by 2030. AI companions have emerged as quick fix to a growing loneliness epidemic. This year, the application Are You Dead, which alerts contact if a user fails to check in, has been vividly popular. Its Chinese name, Silim, is a morbid play of the name of the popular food delivery app Ilimi, meaning "Are you hungry? But are you dead?" addresses a serious need, the growing number of people who are living solo, far away from family and deprived of the social support, and who are afraid of disappearing without being noticed. The people of both countries are turning toward the spiritual solace and agency in a world accelerating out of their control. When the future loses its promise, the past becomes a refuge. Both societies have seen a surge of nostalgia, a longing for a time remembered as simpler and more stable. Many Chinese idolize rural vloggers, such as celebrity YouTuber Li Ziki, who rose to viral fame during the pandemic by sharing videos of a self-sufficient pastoral life in the Sichuan countryside. You can see the same dynamics in the popularity of the trade wife Instagrammer known as Ballerina Farm, who documents a Utah homestead, milking cows and making dog nuts from scratch for the aged children. Both of those women live off the grid and embody and imagine Ido, where chatbot and corporation do not exist. Nostalgia also has a dark side, encouraging the rise of one fringe illiberal ideas into mainstream. This has been underway in China for years, with its influencer and ideologues rejecting liberal idea and drifting toward a conservative, centralized authority. In the United States, we see the growing influence of a pundit like Curtis Yarvin, who argued that liberal democracy should be dismantled in favor of a CEO-led monarchy, and whose idea have found an audience among both American tech and political elite, from Peter Thiel to J.D. Vance. Faced with such a system, the simplest response is to surrender, accept one's fate, sink into the apathy is inevitable. Decline, and in the words of the Chinese netizen, let it rot. It's easy to flee the friction of the real world, of the comfort of our feet, and to confide in chatbot rather than friends. In doing so, we enable our leaders to leverage our fears and displace our anxiety onto the meme version of a foreign country. Instead of addressing AI challenges in isolation, why not bring together people from all sectors of society to reclaim agency over our own lives? We can pursue collaboration as scientists and policymakers have already begun to do. On the sideline of the World AI Conference in Shanghai last summer, scientists from across the world met to address critical AI risk, calling for international cooperation to ensure that advanced AI systems remain aligned with human value. Workers can band together to resist the toxic work culture at big tech firms that sacrifice human dignity for profit and competition. Once you step back, it's easy to see the warping effect of the United States versus China race. It's a story used to justify springing ahead without guardrails in the name of beating the other. By focusing on our rivalry, we have become blind to our vulnerability. Instead of fixating on who crosses the finish line first, we must work together to lift up the people that both countries have left behind. And this is the powerful article that I want to share with you. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.